Hello, once again, the conservative pelican here with another video commentary. Today I'm going to talk to you about the proceedings of the North Carolina Young Republican Convention that happened last Saturday. And I have to tell you, there's been a lot of criticism when I was in Florida. And also when I last lived in North Carolina from 2009 to 2014 about the Young Republicans. Oh, they're lazy. All they want to do is sit around, drink alcohol, and cuss up a storm. And I got to tell you, I went to this event yesterday. I was absolutely, positively impressed. This group has really turned a corner from where it was back in 2013, 2014 when I was last active in the NC Young Republicans. We have so many good Young Republicans in this organization. I mean, they're not only intelligent, they're not only articulate, but they're running for office. And no, I'm not talking about these inter-party offices like secretary and parliamentarian and chairman. I'm talking about we have six Young Republicans that are running for the North Carolina legislature. It's and please pardon the noise in the background. Got a roommate with some young children. Anyway, six candidates running for the North Carolina legislature. And by the way, that's highest in the country. So, started the day off, and this event took place at headquarters in downtown Raleigh. And I have to say, I like the location, but then again, I kind of don't like the location. Now, what I like about the location, it's close. It's to the legislative buildings, so it's convenient for the candidates and the Republican elected officials. But as an activist, and as one that's coming from 90 miles away, Greensboro, it's not the easiest place to get to because it's right deep in downtown Raleigh. I think that if I ever become a chairman of the North Carolina Republican Party, or if somebody's running and they say, look, we need to move the headquarters out to a place that's more convenient, maybe that one that's right off interstate, like the Guilford County GOP headquarters, I would be all for that in a heartbeat. So, again, we started the day 9 o'clock a.m. Well, actually, they were running a little behind, had some technical difficulties, but we had a gentleman from the Leadership Institute. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of think tanks, and there's a lot of political organizations, and they'll go out there and, they'll have their little polling and they'll have their consultants. But I got to tell you, the Leadership Institute, if you're going to, follow, keep track of, or be a fan of any political institution, one that dabbles in politics and activism, the Leadership Institute should be at the top of your list. They do all kinds of webinars over the internet. They do events all the time if you're up in Washington, D.C., and sometimes they'll even go around the country sometimes, just, teach you all about politics and, what to say, what not to say, how to door knock, how to run a precinct. It's really, really awesome stuff. So anyway, and I did not get the gentleman's name, unfortunately, but he's been around since, I believe, the W years. George W. Bush worked on that campaign and worked on other Republican campaigns. They're a nonpartisan group, but 90% of their work is with Republicans. So anyway, he started saying that he gave us a little talk on getting out the vote. So I'm going to share some of the highlights of that talk. He said that, believe it or not, 2 to 3% of voters are still undecided on election day. And you would think in this era that we're in of early voting, and everybody's all about, even if you want to get out of the political sphere and just be like, people are just in such a hurry these days. They want convenience. They want it now, instant gratification. You think that number would be closer to 0 or 1%, but no, 2 to 3% still have not made up their mind. Believe it or not, also, over a 40-year period from 1972 to 2012, there's been a 60% average voter turnouts, and that's according to the U.S. Elections Project. Then he talked to us about social media, how to do a good Facebook post, how to do a bad Facebook post, and he mentioned Scott Taylor, who's running for Congress, I believe in the Virginia Beach area, as a Republican candidate, as a good person. If you want a good social media campaign, then look at Scott Taylor of Virginia. Then we talked about really, probably my favorite part of this whole presentation was door to door. Talked a lot of it's not really what you say, but it's how you say it and how your nonverbal communication comes apart. And a lot of this stuff is really useful, especially as a person like me who's an introvert. And going door to door, I do it. I usually enjoy it, but still, I'm not the most outgoing person in the world. And also, these things kind of help a little bit with my job as a cashier, because again, I'm an introvert, and I just have, this helps to kind of grow and be a little bit more engaged when you're on the cash register with customers. So he said, really, the most important thing, and I'll probably mention this 5 or 10 times in the next few minutes, bear with me, but still, make eye contact. It's all about eye contact. And let me tell you that, as a side note, guys, my single men out there, if you're going to ask a girl out on a date, you gotta make eye contact and just kill her with kindness and confidence. Confidence comes from making eye contact. Got it? Okay. And he also says, be aware of the person's body language. If they have their hands like this, or they're not, it means they're not really interested in what you're saying, and you really have to take things up a notch. Another thing too is always, when you're going door to door, don't do, hi, are you going to vote Republican or Democrat in the next election? Republican. Okay. Do you like Ted Budd or do you like Kathy Manning? You're for Ted Budd. Okay. Instead, ask them, do you support Republicans or Democrats generally? Oh, you support Republicans. Okay. Are you for Ted Budd or Kathy Manning? You're for Ted Budd. Okay. And then you walk away and you fill out the information after you do your interview. Okay? That way you can make eye contact with them and engage them. Okay? Another thing too, this one I'm kind of about. It says professionally dressed. I mean, no hats. Okay. No sunglasses. I'm nearsighted. Okay. I have to wear glasses, and these have transitional lenses. So these generally come across as sunglasses. So I need these to see. So this one I'm kind of debatable. But look, don't go door to door with a raggedy old stained shirt. I'm a person that I sweat a lot, so I need some sort of a non-cotton, a nice looking non-cotton shirt. Okay, something like this, button down, collared. If you want to wear shorts, that's fine, especially in the summertime. Okay, I mean, you want to be comfortable, but you don't want to look like a homeless bum or something. Okay, this one really kind of a duh one, but always smile. If you smile when you talk, you will always come across as friendly. And this one too, this one's very important at my job. If I go and I say to a person, "Hi, how are you today?" If I do that, that comes across as really bare minimum, half-ass. And that's the kind of thing that a customer will say, that cashier you have, he really stinks. And instead, you got to be like, "Hey, how are you today?" And do like that. Relax your facial muscles. Do I smile and get those eyebrows sort of in a good position. When you talk to somebody, you want to be very relaxed. Tilt your head in a little bit, not like they're 2 inches away from you. Remember the personal space rule, but still say, "Okay, you're for Ted Bud. Okay, great. What do you think about the Donald Trump? Oh, you like him? You think okay. And really, another really important thing when you go door to door, and that the speaker said was, put yourself in their shoes. I don't know about you guys, but like most people, let's face it, when your home is your sanctuary. It's your peace place, your happy place. Most people, including myself, we don't like to answer the door. So it's very important that you, again, come across as friendly, relax them, and say, "You know what? Because you answered the door, you have to be very grateful," and just relax them. Uncross your limbs. Don't be like, "Hi, I'm with the Ted Bud campaign. How are you doing today?" No. Don't do that. Hands visible. Don't have your hands in your pockets. Don't. Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Open body language. That one. Yeah, I've already just talked about that. Lots of eye contact. Nod your head gently. Don't, when they answer the door, don't, start walking away. All right? Be engaged, of course. Pay attention to them. Give them their utmost attention. Okay, that's don't, again, I mentioned this before, but don't have your paperwork hunched over. Okay. Aggressive body language. This one's good and bad. You can say, "We're gonna kick the Democrats' butts this year." Or you can say, "Okay, this bullet points. Here's how I feel about energy independence. 1, you tell OPEC to screw themselves. 2, you drill, baby, drill." Okay. What you don't want to do is be like John Kasich in the 2016 primary debate where he's like, "Fruit Ninja." Don't do that. Okay. Don't just read off a script. "Hi, my name is Bobby Crawford. I'm with the Ted Bud campaign. How are you today?" When I make this video, I look at my notes, but to make this video engaging, I'd never read off a script, okay? And don't do that when you're door knocking either. And probably the most important thing to remember, and this applies to my job as cashier too, make sure you thank them for their time. Leave a positive impression. Now, look, I'll tell you that you could be a Republican and you can knock on a Republican's door. Unfortunately, or you can be a Democrat, knock on a Democrat's door. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who just don't care about politics or give a rip, or they really don't like canvassers, precinct workers coming to their door. A lot of them will say, not interested, get out of here. Oh, there's no soliciting sign, get out of here. Still, take a deep breath and say, thank you for your time, sir. Walk away. Okay. Yeah. This happens at my job sometimes. About 90% of the customers are very friendly, but some of them will give you a hard time. They'll be, put that in that, put that in that. They'll hover, You say, hi, how are you doing, ma'am? And they'll just kind of look at you. But always, always thank them. No matter how mean they are to you. Leave a positive impression. And then, let's see. If you're a candidate running for office, you want to target 53% is what you need to win. That, 50% plus 1, no. You need to have a comfortable margin. Because in politics, there's always going to be those undecideds who really want to vote for you, but maybe the Democratic candidate, they just really said something the other day that inspires them, and they switch at the last minute. Happens all the time. 53% is the magic number. And then they said, try to do 20 houses per hour. That's your target when you're doing door-to-door work in the precincts. And they even said target the same house 4 times. Wow. A lot of work, but it can be done, right? Then they talked about call centers, and he said getting an office space is best. Really doesn't think that using your own home, the call from home, things that a lot of candidates do, especially the lower funded ones do. He said those really don't work because when you're home, you're by yourself, okay? But when you're at a call center, you're surrounded by people, and that helps build the enthusiasm of everybody making the calls. Then he talked about, phone calls, they don't always have to be for canvassing or getting out the vote. You can even say, hi, my name is Bobby, and I would like to invite you to a picnic that the Guilford County Republican Party is putting on Saturday, September 22nd. And yes, that's an actual event, 2 o'clock at Burr Mill Park in Northwest Greensboro, by the way. Okay. So that's all I have for the Freedom Works, great organization, but Leadership Institute. So I will stop this video right here, and next video I'll be doing is on the actual convention part. So for the Conservative Pelican, I'm Bobby Crawford.